Hare Krishna. I know all of you are desperate and eagerly waiting for the release of the third episode with His Grace Satya Gaur Chandra Prabhu, which we call it as the Hyderabad Files. After the beginning, the rise, now we will hear about the revolt and the rule from the Hyderabad Files. How the devotees here fought for a piece of land, went through hardships, struggle to build a beautiful temple for their lordships. Swayambhu Narasimha, Hare Krishna, Golden Temple. And they also fulfilled the prophecy of Srila Prabhupada when Prabhupada wanted Hyderabad to be his kitchen. All this and much more in detail in this episode. I would implore and request, just mention 2 life lessons what you learned from this episode. Hare Krishna.
Chakravyuha Prabhu will go to Chennai and Satya Gaur will go to Hyderabad.
Yeah.
And he's saying these people are 420, they are not ISKCON. Suddenly in our little ashram, there are about 20-25 channels. Tell me what happened. Inside I was thinking, even I don't know. The Galata with us, minister, he locked up the temple and he took the key and went away. Police are saying, Swamiji, if you enter the main road, we will arrest you. And the commissioner is looking at me and is looking at all of them. The very fact that the Golden Temple is standing there, it's a result of Narasimha's miracle. So in the first layer, we felt that Basti people are opposing, and then the opposite camp is fully involved. Local pontiff, not in favor. I will not leave you, Prabhu. I'll fight. Again, remove them when they're at the bud stage. Sometimes blood comes out of fingers, like that is it. They're saying, we're also watching Swamiji. Generally, it doesn't take so much time. Recently the AstraZeneca, that vaccine, they said a rare symptom, which is nothing but thrombosis. And the news reached the CEO. He said, really? Who is this miracle Narasimha? I have 18,000 employees in my organization. In Tamil Nadu, they have individual items and you have to pay 5 rupees. Prabhupada said Hyderabad is my kitchen. Actually, he proved it.
Miracle of Narasimha continues.
So we were thinking now how to extend and all that. Suddenly one donor came and then he heard about this scheme. He comes and gives 10 lakhs check and goes. Meanwhile, this check bounced.
After this, close to 13-14 years, you've been in ISKCON Bangalore. So 97 to 11. So almost 14 years you were there. Just 3 years you've been to manage material services. You're handling so many events of the temple. Now suddenly you were asked to go to, not suddenly, maybe planned problem, we don't know, but you were asked to go to Hyderabad. And how was that transition from number 3 to somewhere else in a small, of course Hyderabad is also a bigger city in that sense, but to a new challenge. Actually, how should a devotee take such surprises or new challenges in the service of the Lord?
See, those days, at least for me, it was not expected. Maybe that thinking may be there in the Prabhu's mind. So there was a kind of a request from Hyderabad. Initially, Lakshmikant Prabhu was there, and then but he went through some health and some familial issues. So he requested that somebody may, be sent to Hyderabad and take care of the things like that. So we were all discussing and what to do and all that. And so one day we had a meeting like this, internal meeting, and then in that meeting suddenly they have said Chakravyuha Prabhu will go to Chennai and Satya will go to Hyderabad. And then I got 2 weeks of time to go there. So that's how I was actually shocked. I never thought that I can I can manage like that. And so
it was actually a shock for you.
It was a shock kind of a thing, but then I took it up because that's the culture. Whatever the seniors give the service, we have to take it up. And not only for me, we have called most of the leaders like that only. Whoever has gone to various centers, we say one fine day we used to call them and say, yes,
ticket is booked, go.
Ticket is booked, go. It was a very entrepreneurial spirit was there. And then, so I also decided to so I had a lot of books, one carton box, we have book bus parcel we have made, and then all my luggage comes to one suitcase. That's how we went away. And so 2011, I think after the Shivaratri, we went there, and there was no congregation, there was no folk. There is a temporary kitchen from which we are feeding about 30,000.
So we had already started Akshaya Patra in Hyderabad.
Already started. Lakshmikant Prabhu has already started in 2008. So that means almost for 3 years it was run, and it is going on. That's in a temporary location. And nearby some few congregation was there, but then when I went there, we were in, already the center was there in Banjara Hills. So it's a rented house, and about, I think 7-8 of us were there. And for me, the biggest shock was the first Mangalarati. Absolutely, there are no singers. In the 8 or whatever who are present there, nobody knows to sing properly. And then there's one boy who knows somehow to sing something. And then, somebody is playing Karatal. Muranga to ruled out. And and he's playing Karatal and he's singing something, and they're not in sync. And my brain is not in sync with that. I'm hearing all wonderful kirtans in Bangalore. And then the first day is all out of sync. And then, my God, this is going to... And then it's a picture worship. Gaur Nitai picture worship. That's the beginning of Hyderabad. When I went there, that Cinemas devotee has some... I told you he has some family-related issues. And so kind of he took a break. So, that's the first week or second week, 1 or 2 months it has happened. And so that's the first jalak for me as a leader. You are worried about many things. The devotees, their Krishna consciousness, and then their safety, and then temple maintenance, financial, and then your project. There are a lot of things you have to worry about. So that's the kind of a scenario. So we took one rented house, and it's in a very prominent location called Banjara Hills. That's the
Beverly Hills of...
You are mentioning it's a Beverly Hills of Andhra or whatever, Hyderabad. So we took the house there, and why we took a particular house? Because from there you can see the land.
So we had already got the land allocated. How did we get this land?
This is actually a government land, endowment land of 5 acres. And I think in one of the classes also I mentioned that endowment commissioner, he came to see
ISKCON Bangalore. I'd been to washroom.
So I was telling, we got this land not because of LLP preachers. It's because of a MMD. So
for those who don't know what is MMD means, those MMD devotees, that devotee who cleanses the temple or maintains the cleanliness of the temple.
Commissioner was so impressed with the cleanliness of the washroom.
That to public washroom.
Public washroom. Then he said, if they're taking care of the public washroom so nicely, I need not have to see their altars. Obviously, that will be 5-star. Right. So, and then for sure, when he had darshan, he was very impressed, and then so that's how he gave that land. And then
so we had applied for that actually, and when he visited Bangalore, it made sense and it connected dots, and he happily handed over.
He handed over, and then it was given by the government under pressure. Why pressure? Because that Lakshmi Narasimha deity used to have 47 acres of land. 90% is untraceable. Untraceable means everybody occupied. And then, so only 10% is left. But even 10 is big, that is 5 acres. And in Banjara Hills, this is very costly. And that is also gradually going through, this kind of a occupation. Somebody is trying to illegally take over. And so there was a big discussion in the assembly. They are accusing the CM, who is from a different faith, that you are not properly taking care of the Hindu lands and the temples and
properties. Yeah.
And the property of the Narasimhas, that 47 acres, one of their faith centers, they have taken away a big portion of land. So that has become a tipping point for the opposition to fight with, accuse the thing. And then, so government was under pressure to save this land and then ensure that there is some development here. So that's the context in which we entered into that thing. But when we are about to enter, the CMO allocated, he died in a chopper crash. And so it's like, we entered into a new terrain, new waters, and the land sharks are all waiting. And then see how in, I think all over India probably this is the strategy. What they do, these politicians, if they want to take over empty land, first they will introduce some 2-3 hutments. Some poor families, they will put them into the huts, one here, one here, one here. And then they will say, after some time, see, poor people, they don't have anything. They need some land. They need a pakka house. And so they will try to lobby with the government to get this land for the poor. And then once they get the land from the poor, these 2-3 hutments, they put them in one corner. And then rest of the land, they'll kind of take over. Most of the politicians, this is what happens. First, hutments will be there. So by the time we went to Hyderabad, there are 3 hutments on the land. And so...
What do you call it? Basti.
In those hutments, there are 3 families are living. They're all poor families. And probably from certain, kind of categories. And it's a sensitive issue. If you do anything, then it becomes a headlines in the... that's the kind of scenario. So there are 3 hutments. And compound wall was done to a major extent by the parent temple, that is Yadadri temple. But many portions were not, doesn't have compound wall. So that was one more challenge. And we don't have any money. That's a common theme everywhere.
We got it from our spiritual master.
So that's how we started the whole thing. And the main thing was these land sharks who are eyeing on this land. And we have become like a kind of a...
Kebab mein haddi.
So again, their strategy is when they are small, finish them off. Because if they grow their roots, difficult to remove them. Because see, this is the technique in this world. So they started putting a lot of pressure on us.
Legally we got it, but the envious sharks are planning to take it over from us. Making our life difficult to continue there.
Yeah, exactly. Anything you try to do, immediately they make it into a big issue.
So there was an instance where this Janmashtami happening and some politician came up and locked up the gate. What was that?
Yeah, so then we're all going on. That minister and Basti leaders, they're all, every other day they come. They're seeing what we are doing. Are we building anything? Are we growing in our roots? They're keeping an eye continuously. And so then Janmashtami is coming up. So we thought we will put up one shed in the south. We put up one shed and then we can do a nice Janmashtami. And initially we had a discussion even with Basti leaders also. They said, good Swamiji, please do. And Narasimha Swami's festivals, everything can happen here. I said, yes, that's fine. Then we started putting the shed. Then I think they realized that once the shed is ready, we will grow in our roots. Sympathy in the Basti will grow. And then, it may be difficult to dislodge us. That's the kind of fear they got. And that's how that minister came and attacked on that day. Till then, what is happening in the Basti, they are promoting that we're all suspicious group.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have any following.
Mm-hmm.
We are actually a breakaway group where they don't want to even call us as ISKCON.
Mm-hmm.
See, look, there's some Hare Krishna, something they're saying, Hare Krishna movement.
Mm-hmm.
So they used to call us 420 ka group hai.
Mm-hmm.
420. This is the title they have given. So there used to be a lot of rumors in Basti.
Mm-hmm.
See, one thing you should know, Basti means brute force.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can face it. If they all unite and do something, we cannot do anything. So there's a lot of propaganda is going on against us.
So they're agitating the Basti walas also against us.
Yeah. Yes. And then we have absolutely no idea because we just came and we really don't know what is happening. We know that there is a Basti. And then all these things are going on, building up. So this tomorrow is Janmashtami, and today this minister, as attack means he came to the temple with along with some 50 of his chalas. That's the time in the morning. The Guru Puja is over. We're all having our prasad, and then suddenly one devotee got a call from his donor that Swamiji, your temple name is in the scroll. Some minister, something is commenting, like that is. I said, really, what is he commenting? And then immediately I asked, you call up one more person and see whether, because we don't have TVs in our ashram. So, and then he is calling up and he is trying to ask, he said, yes, Swamiji, there is a scroll coming about your temple. And minister is giving a press conference. And he's giving a press conference. Then immediately we went to the balcony and then saw what is happening in the land.
So press conference was happening on the land.
On the land, and live we are coming to know. So there is a press conference is going on, and so one of the devotees said, "Prabhu, I will go and see." Then I said, no, see, dangerous now. We don't know what is going to happen. No, Prabhu, you give me permission, I'll go and see. See, I am a different category. But that boy is a different category. So he said, Prabhu, give me the permission, I'll go and see.
He's a friendly like Kshatriya, probably.
So I said, okay, go and, because I saw that there's some 50, 60 people are there and then some police are also there. So he said, okay, go and see. So he went there and then some Basti people, all those, they're making their faces and they're showing all the aggressive postures and all those things. But then this boy didn't care, and then he went right up to the minister and is listening to, what is he explaining. And he's saying these people are 420, they're not ISKCON, they're like this, they're like that. Illegally they got this property, they're doing all illegal things here. Daytime you see them with japamala, japabag, but nighttime we really don't know their real nature. They're all different, completely different. And then you see in the land, there are so many things, bottles are available. It's all their bottles. Anybody, 10 paisa, you can get one bottle and put there. 5-acre land it is. So like that is going on, making allegations. And so he called us. Prabhu is, he's addressing all the press, and this is what he's doing. What should we do? So now the thing is, none of us have experience of any of this. What to do? Before I could even decide what to do, all the press people, they were asking this devotee, where are you people? We want to come and ask your management, what is their comment about these ministers? Because they want to take the other side also. So that's so suddenly in our little ashram, there are about 20-25 channels. They're all putting their mics in front of me and saying, tell me what happened. Inside I was thinking, even I don't know. But then, I'm trying to explain, I really don't know this and that. I'm trying to explain something. They're asking very pointed questions. Why minister is saying this? Why minister is saying that? So, one of the, one important policy for us should be, which, I have taken also, is that at any cost, we should not make anybody an enemy of the organization. And on his own, if somebody becomes an enemy, we should see how that enmity can be reduced or kept under control. So we know if we make any harsh statements against the minister or whatever, obviously the enmity will increase, and it's not good for us. And we are a very small group, just 8 of us in a rented house and all those things. So I was not I'm not giving any straight answers on this and that. And just to roll back a little bit, before all these incidents, I foresaw some of these incidents can happen, during Janmashtami. So I went and met BHP International, president. He happens to be the son of the donor who gave land for Mother Mohan temple. They have a sweet shop. I'm not telling the actual details. So he heard our case, how the bastis are creating all those issues and all that. And then he assured me, Swamiji, anytime you have any, galata or issue, you let me know. I'll send you some help. So when all these galatas are happening, our devotees have called him and then asked for some help. So I was trying to address and talk and all that. And then came one very big man, a huge person. I will be to his maybe stomach or something like that. He came. He has a big butchered. We call him butchered guy. A big butchered, and then he came like that, and then he stood next to me. He's not taken my permission or nothing. He took next to me, and then he's addressing the media. And then that his language is different. Yavadrado. He's addressing that politician and say, Yavadrado. Urara nugo, nindostano. Like that, his language. I was saying, no, don't do all those things, because this is our, Swamiji, don't worry, you just be there, like that only, you be there. And then he told all the channels, you shoot Swamiji. And then he is addressing that. So it's like that. So basically he was from Bajrang Dal. He's the president of Bajrang Dal, and then he came, and then he kind of took over this thing. So then next day is the Janmashtami. And
we could celebrate Janmashtami.
Yeah, that's the point. So all these things are going on. So one elderly person who is seeing all these things, I think along with this Bajrang Dal, some more people came. Let me tell you, till then I had a different opinion about Bajrang Dal, RSS and VHP and all that. But on that day I realized, and they're so helpful. Because nobody else is willing to come. Moment police are some things are part of the equation. Nobody wants to help you.
True.
So that's the problem. So he, one elderly person said, Swamiji, all these things will be going on, media, all those things. That's all okay. You should build up documentation. Now this is one more interesting. All temples, and particularly in the beginning days, we should focus on documentation, statutory compliances, dealing with the police and building up good documentation against any of these issues. These are very important, very crucial. So that's what he advised me. And then he said, you go and give complaint in police station. Now that itself is a big question. Should we? And then he is a sitting minister, senior minister, and he is the party chief of the city. And he is one of the CM candidate.
Probable candidate.
And he is also in the race. And so that's the kind of figure we are handling. And then should we file a complaint? He said, you have to do, Swamiji. Otherwise, by tomorrow they will come and twist against you only. They'll say, why you made a statement on this thing, that thing. We are filing a complaint on you. Like that, they will implicate you some. Then we are realized that we have to do something. So we have told our temple manager to go and file a complaint with the police. So he went and filed a complaint, and that local ACP and this minister, their equations don't go well.
Oh, wow.
That we didn't know. So that ACP, what he did, he filed a very big case on this minister. It has non-bailable warrant.
Wow.
Section is there. And that's it. That minister was shaking. He was very upset actually. And he was criticizing home minister. That means his own party minister. He's criticizing his home minister, say, how you can file a case on me like this. Ministers are fighting. And then, these things are going on. So then our next target is, okay, how to celebrate the Janmashtami next day. And we stopped dealing with the media, and we told police we have to celebrate. So the next day's Janmashtami is our target. So we told the police that in the land we have to do, that is our ritual. Every year we are celebrating there, so this year also it should happen there. So they all said, no, Swamiji, now that land is disputed, and there's a lot of buzzes there. And what happened after the Galata with us, minister, he locked up the temple and he took the key and went away.
Oh.
He locked up the temple and went away. So that means we cannot go inside. It's all locked up. So, but we are saying we have to celebrate there only. So police are also in a dilemma. How to manage this, because it's all locked up. And then all the news channels of the state, they started picking up the case, because that's the nice juice is there. Temple versus minister, and then some sadhus versus minister and all that. So all the channels have started coming to our room and trying to take our bites. They're going to him also, they're taking bite. One channel, what it did, it is talking to the minister, suddenly brought me into the live discussion with him. All discussion. I have not told even one sentence. He's only talking half an hour. I was just hearing, and then they said thank you, and then I came out. This was our kind of a strategy there. So the next day's this thing, they are not permitting, and by evening, because there is a lot of negativity is building up in the channels, minister returned the key. He returned the key because channels are saying this minister is known for occupying lands. He grabs the lands from innocent people and all that. So they're saying, some channels started saying, now he is grabbing temples also. He is locking up the temples and taking the keys with him. And so he saw that there is some negativity is increasing.
Must be inspired those media people to see.
Yeah, they pointed out the actual thing which has hit him. And then by evening he returned the key. And so then we were actually contemplating on this. And then he started influencing the top officials of the police. Don't permit them and all that. So they're not giving permission. So evening what we did, we went and met the commissioner. And we told we are...
This is on the Janmashtami eve.
The eve. And all these things happening in the one day's time. So we met the commissioner because somebody told you have to meet the commissioner. And by then he knows all the things. All channels are showing the same thing. And then, so first I went to there is a RS, PHP, that group is there. They said, so much we will take you. And they made me write one letter, and then now come. Then they took me to that police commissioner, and commissioner is looking at me and is looking at all of them. He can recognize all of them.
You're the new person there.
I'm the only new person there. And then, yes, Swamiji, what happened? No, this is what happened. I don't know why, but he has come and attacked the temple like this, and he locked up and all those things. And he's silent. He's not commenting on anything. I said, see, it's a Hindu custom that Janmashtami is celebrated in the temple. So he said, yeah, I agree. I think you can celebrate something like that, he told. So we have a word from him, and then we came back. So then the local ACP by then has been already been controlled, and then he is not permitting. So like that, the negotiations went on till say I think 10, 11 o'clock in the night. And this Bajrangal, they're all saying, we'll take the deity, go into the main road as a procession, and then enter the land and then do. They want to make it sensational. Police are saying, Swamiji, if you enter the main road, we will arrest you. And then, and they're all saying, Swamiji, what is this? For Krishna, anything is okay. But then, we cannot, our goal is not. Now, here I want to tell you one more point. Like that, there's a lot of emotional and sentimental pressure will come on you. That, to take revenge, to take action, to hit back, to make it sensational, all those things. The question that I always used to ask is, by doing this, will the temple come faster or not? Will the temple come or not? Let us say you make it sensational and you file it. Many people told me you chase the FIR against the minister. You put him behind the bars. Okay, you put him behind the bars. After 2 days, you'll get the bail. Yeah. After he comes out, then comes the entire force on you.
It's your organization first policy always.
Yeah. So that means by putting him behind the bars, will my temple come up faster or not? It will not come. In fact, it will be delayed. And so actually, he was putting pressure on my landlady, where we are staying now, putting pressure on her to close, our center and then send us away. So, but that lady, because she's already become a little devoted, 2-3 rounds she's chanting. She said, no, I'm not. There are nice people. Let them continue. So he could not convince her. So we are there like that. So that's the kind of environment we are in. So we are not taking any such actions. And then by that night, somehow we got the permission. Next day, 8 o'clock.
Permission from?
The commissioner. I told the ACP I got a permission. So he spoke to commissioner in front of me. Commissioner said, yes, you allow them. I'll speak to the minister. At least for 1 hour, let them go and come back. So next day morning, 8 o'clock, Mark and Krishna has to go from our ashram to our land there. There are 4 pilot vehicles in the front. And there are 4 more police vehicles in the behind. And then with Mark and Krishna, I'm there in the front seat. And then there is a police driver.
What a convoy for Mark and Krishna.
Mark and Krishna went in a big convoy. And then he went to the land. There we did the first rituals. And then, so that's one of the memorable Janmashtamis in Hyderabad.
So when all this was happening, I remember during that time, there was a press conference where we've been accused that we are not the mainstream ISKCON and that we are offshoot and we don't know what is our existence on the other side. So all these challenges, how did you handle and face?
Actually, one thing I have seen in these bigger projects, it's Guru and Krishna's mercy. We will see only one layer of challenges to start with. Actually, we really don't know what is beneath. It's like an onion layers.
Or iceberg.
Maybe. Layer by layer, you will start seeing maybe more and more challenges.
And tears come down.
And then, so initially they had this press conference, and then openly they are saying these people are not ISKCON. And then Malpan Prabhu, they all decided to counter it by organizing one more conference from our side. And then they kind of put a pill also against this order, allocating the land to our organization. In that pill, they are saying the current worship is by Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. Now, if these people take over, then they're from a different Sampradaya. How are you handing over this to them?
That was my next question. You have two Sampradayas simultaneously existing in one place.
Yeah. And so they are saying, how can you allow them to? That means if Prabhupada goes into the altar, should we be proud or should we worry? They're worried. This is a problem. So we are very upset. What is this? Anyway, finally that pill was squashed, and then we got the possession and all those things. And as of today, yes, both the Sampradayas are coexisting. Mostly this is one of the unique temples.
Both Sampradaya
coexisting together. And then they're happy celebrating and doing their festivals and all that. So in one sense, we have many more festivals than the regular.
Correct. Swati Nakshatra is itself a festival every day. That's the beauty of Lakshmi Narasimha Swambhu.
Yeah.
You always call him as a miracle Narasimha.
Yeah.
Can you share some miracles done by Narasimha?
Yeah. The very fact that the Golden Temple is standing there is a result of Narasimha's miracle. Yeah, nothing less than that. As I said, these layers of challenges we started seeing.
So he removed all those obstacles.
Yeah, exactly. And also, he has not shown the entire depth of layers to us because probably would have ran away back to Bangalore. So in the first layer, we felt that Basti people are opposing and then the resistance is only local and all that. No, after we got into little more details, then we realized that the opposite camp is fully involved in training and coaching and directing the fight against us. This is the second layer we came to know. And then I went and met him directly. I met him and I spoke to him because he was my colleague in ISKCON Bangalore. So then when I went, he received me well, and then so we hugged each other. Then we had a discussion, and in the end, I gave some prasadam and all those things, and then he said, I will not leave you, Prabhu. I'll fight.
Oh, direct confrontation on the face.
On the face, he told me. Then I understood this man is not going to keep quiet and all that.
One is a colleague and a peer and a friend, now a foe, an enemy fighting.
And then for what? Just for coming into that place. I know we have not done anything to his temple or his congregation. When we started, our congregation is 0. So virtually we have not done anything to them. So, but simply ensure that we don't grow there. Again, remove them when they're at the bud stage. That's the thing. So then, then slowly we realized that, of course, minister involvement is clear. Basti minister, and then this. And then we came to know one more layer.
4th layer.
That is connected to one of the local pontiffs. I will not reveal the name. Local pontiff. and even he is not in favor. And that layer had to be dealt very sensitively, and by Krishna's mercy with the patience and whatever, even he became very favorable. And in fact, yeah, these are all miracles. And that was a big thing actually. And then it so happened that he came for inauguration. So all those things happened. And then because he came, all the issues are settled once for all. Because they know that, okay, he is accepting the arrangement there. And then of course, he's now very favorable to us. And we have good relations. So what I'm saying is, layer after layer, inexperienced team, none of us are really, aware of anything of this kind.
You were very thinking, why me? Why was I put into this position and I had to handle this? Or was it a dependence on the Lord or dependence on Prabhupada? What was your emotions or feelings? And
there's a lot of anxiety, and this and that. So one calculation that always helps is this. When I was in Bangalore, MPP taught me this. He says, when you are in that kind of a tension, stress and all that, you first assess what is the worst case, and you prepare the mind for it.
Prepare for the worst case scenarios.
That's it. Prepare for the worst case scenario, and you do your best. And let us see, Lord, He really want you to reach worst case, or maybe He may take you to a better position. So one day we all sat there, and then we were discussing what could be the worst case. All the devotees, they said, "Oh, what is the worst case?" They will cancel the GO. And they
the government order to allocate the temple.
So they'll say, get out. So that's the worst case. I said, okay, if they say get out, then what is the next course? Prabhu, then probably we may have to go away from this location. Okay, to where? Maybe somewhere close to our Akshay Patra. Somebody else said, no, Prabhu, they may send us away from the state. I said, that may not happen. That may not happen. But as we may have to go closer to Akshay Patra and all those things, and we can run there. So that's the worst case, and be prepared. So we are actually be prepared for many times. Actually, 2 instances it has come very close. This is one more thing I have seen.
Fifth miracle.
That when you come edge, apparently it appears that that's it. It's all going. Suddenly you will see some, something is pushing you behind, and then bringing you to
clearly see the hand of the Lord.
Yeah, bringing you to the safe shore. Very, very. So those are the kind of tense situations in which I always depended on one quote of Srila Prabhupada. He says, you simply execute your devotional service. Whatever obstacles that may come will be vanquished by the power, mercy, and grace of the Supreme Personality of God. He says 3 things: power, grace, and mercy. And by all these obstacles will be vanquished. I used to read those again and again. In fact, I have made a board of it. It's there in my
We have it in the ashram also while entering.
So that's been my inspiration. But it's all, what do you say, a childish following of some codes and this and that. But ultimately, yes.
But when the child experiences reciprocation with the Lord, it becomes a solid faith.
Yeah, correct. It's always like that. We try to take some steps based on Prabhupada's direction, and then if something works out, then it's a happiness. Yeah.
So regarding that, Apollo doctors visiting Golden Temple and asking you, where is that miracle Narasimha? What's that which you shared in the one of the?
Yeah, actually, it is about the one health issue of a devotee. He's my deputy vice president there. And so once we had an Istugosti, and then I think he prepared some file to give it to me at the end of the meeting. So meeting is over, and then he came to me and his file is giving, and then I'm about to take it. And I'm seeing that he's not giving. I will give now. He's saying like this, and he's not. Then I saw something is wrong. He's not able to, this thing. And then I saw that his head is slightly reeling. And immediately I told devotees, Haribol, bring a chair. Let him, otherwise he'll fall off. So then they rushed one chair to him. He kind of gently sat down in the chair, and then I saw that his head is reeling. Visibly you can see he's reeling, and then he is not able to, his words have become very thick and is not able to speak properly and all those things. So then I'm trying to ask him, Haribol, what's happening? Why, what did you eat, or is there anything? No, Prabhu, sir. He's trying to explain, but we're also not able to get a proper answer. The devotees are trying to rub his feet and then all those things. Somebody is kept his ears very close to his mouth and trying to understand if there is anything that he wants to communicate. So that's the kind of scenario. So immediately we called the ambulance. And then meanwhile, I was also talking to some doctor on the phone also. He is saying sometimes acidity can create such chakra in the mind, in the brain. So, but anyway, meanwhile, the ambulance came, and then we rushed him to the doctor. So when they saw that initial, the diagnosis is that it's intense acidity in the body. So then he took some medicine, and when he was about to come off, then one experienced doctor joined the committee, because from the temple, they're all cultivated. And so then he said, no, let us do few more tests like that. And then they did a series of tests. Then they came to know that it is not acidity, it's something to do with some obstruction in the neck, some of the blood vessels.
In the spinal.
In the neck, just on the. So then they gave some medicine and all that, and then they said, you try this for 1 week or 10 days, let us see. So then he took that, and then he came. Then again after 1 week, again phenomena repeated. Fortunately, both the times devotees are around, so they rushed him. First time what they said is, you brought him very late. We can't do anything now. So second time when we went, we are within the period within which they can do something. So then the doctor said, this is something called thrombosis. So we have to do, one big injection we have to give with a force, and that will enhance the circulation of the blood within the body. And when the blood is flowing at a faster pace, it will remove that blockage in that particular blood vessel. So that's how it can clear the passage. Then that will remove the problem. Theoretically, this is what is explained. Then I said, okay, then why are you coming to me? And I said, no, it involves, an injection and then all these things, and so you have to sign on this. I said, if it is only an injection and then it's all going to be cleared, then what? Then the doctor said, no, sometimes blood comes out of fingers, like that he said. Because when we give this pressure, from anywhere it can come out, and then fingers generally are the weakest this thing. You are saying anywhere. That means it can come out from even say, from nose, ears and all that. He said, possible so much. And then can it come, what if it comes up in the brain? He said, possible. Then I was shocked. That means, if you give an injection, there could be blood accumulation in the brain. Then I said, see, how can I say? Then doctor said, you have no option. But unless you sign, we will not do anything. Because they want to safeguard this thing. So then we consulted the parents, and then we told, see, this is what they are saying. And then we have no time, and then the window is coming, they're passing by. And so they also said, yes, it's actually nobody can do anything intellectually. So then we signed, and then we said, the only hope is we'll pray to Miracle Narasimha. And then the next day they're supposed to give the injection. So our devotee went to see him before giving the injection. He is next to his bed, there are many other beds, similar cases. The next case is the one where the blood came in the brain. So they had to cut the brain. His brain is like this. He came and told me, oh my God. And then we had a big kirtan in the temple hall. Throughout that injection, this thing, we were all doing Namaste Narasimha kirtan in the temple hall, praying for his safety. So then I think injection came, and then everybody is just counting what will happen, what will happen. 1 hour passed by, 2 hours passed by, 3 hours passed by. No visible damages to anything. Then we're all very suspicious. We asked the doctor, they're saying, we are also watching Swamiji. Generally, it doesn't take so much time. We also don't know what's happening. And then, so after 4 or 5 hours, they declared that this is a miracle case. And the news has reached everybody in the hospital because they know this thrombosis means very risky. Recently the AstraZeneca, that vaccine, they said a rare symptom, which is nothing but thrombosis. Same thing it is. So they all understood, and then they started coming and seeing Prabhu. And Prabhu is a good preacher. He himself started preaching. And the news reached the CEO. He said, really? Who is this miracle Narasimha? So he and his wife, they visited after some time. After 1 week also they visited. They want to see who is this miracle Narasimha. He is a CEO of Apollo. Wife is a director of eye hospital. Both are highly educated, very, devoted people. So they came and they had darshan. They are really impressed. Said a lot of vibration. It's all very special Swamiji. And from then on, they take care of the devotees very nicely.
So these are the miracles of our.
Yeah, that was a real saving. Vaishnava now, he's contributing nicely. So this is very important. Lord takes care of the devotees. And personally, he gave us faith like that. So, yes.
Another miracle you would say, like Prabhupada said, Bombay is my office, Vrindavan is a place of residence, and Mayapur is my place of worship. For Hyderabad, he said, it's my kitchen.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of prasadam being distributed. That's Sakshaya Patra, Bhojanamrita, and Annamrita, and Saddi Mutte.
Yeah.
So what are these different projects? 5 rupees maybe.
Yeah.
How it was all conceived and executed in now?
Initially, of course, our Akshaya Patra is going on, and then one day we thought, Prabhupada says 10 miles from the temple now. So our Akshaya Patra kitchen is somewhere 35.
Far away.
So we thought 10 miles, let us see. So when we
the idea was to execute the will of the spiritual master.
So when we're trying to do that, then again in our survey we saw that a lot of people are there. Nearby there is one cancer hospital, and every afternoon we are seeing that there are a lot of people waiting outside. And then some people come, they distribute some packets, and there's a lot of rush there, and then it goes away. Then maybe in one more day there is nobody comes there, and one more day somebody else comes. It's like that. Some charitable people coming, erratically it's happening. And then so then I told our devotees to go and investigate what exactly is going on there. So they said they're all cancer patients, came from the nearby villages. And the patient is been taken care of because it's a charity hospital. Some provisions are there. But along with him comes the caretakers.
They have to eat it out.
They don't know where to go and all those. They have no facilities also. They all sit out. And then they depend on somebody coming and give. So we thought, why not give some prasadam to them and all that. And so we spoke to the hospital management. If you can give at least one prasadam hall, we will start our program and we will only feed end-to-end free. They said, are you sure free? We said, yes, freely we'll give meals.
How did you take that risk of doing it freely? How do you think like that? Finances and management?
Because what happened, we told this concept to our neighbor. There's one neighbor, one big house is there. one tenant is there. He's also a rich man. So we said, see, we want to feed the people. Swamiji, my first check, he gave 2.5 lakhs. We said, very nice. Then I said, yes, we already have some support. And we'll get some support. Don't worry like that. Because
transcendental entrepreneurs.
And then they said, but how can we believe that you will give every day? Then we showed, see, we have an Akshayapatra experience. We are feeding every day. So many. Then they got convinced. Then it is one of the owners of the hospital is a famous cinema actor. And then they said, you have to go and meet him. So we went and met him. His house is like a big palace in Banjara Hills. So we met him, and then he was very impressed with our feeding. Swamiji, if you are doing, and then you want to do freely, we are just giving some space. It's that's fine. Okay. Yeah, you can take it like that, he said. And then we said, no, you should come for inauguration. And he came for inauguration also. And then we started feeding on one fine day. And on that day, he made some controversial comments on the government. So our news came in all newspapers. Either positive also came, negative also came. So by the way, so all the channels have covered, and then some 2-3 days have passed by. Meanwhile, this check bounced.
2.5 lakh.
That check is bounced. So now, how to raise funds? So meanwhile, this temple issue is becoming bigger. So we stopped the project collection, and we started this Anadana collection. So like that we have started, and Krishna's grace.
It's still continuing?
Continuing, and then we never stopped. Not only continuing, one company came forward and took over all these hospitals. 19 hospitals are sponsored by just one company.
Wow.
They have some 3,000, 4,000 crore turnover. Some
Narasimha, miracle Narasimha, once again inspired.
They somehow came in touch with that feeding happening in the cancer hospital. They said, Swamiji, we should do correctly. And one by one, we expanded. So all the 19 hospitals they're sponsoring. And then now that company has become 70 to 80,000 crores.
Worth.
That's their worth. What is 3,000, 4,000? Now they have become. Once that
so miracle Narasimha has blessed them also.
The chairman is saying, I think after partnering with you and then after the Prasadam thing, Swamiji, our stars have changed. And of course, I'm not telling the name. So that's the kind of donations that they give. We are waiting for the next miracle to happen to support our coming up project.
So what is this 5 rupees meal?
Yeah, actually, so this all started almost a decade back now. Bhojanamrita is the hospital feeding, and then when we are expanding with this company's help to one of the hospitals, then we invited the local municipality commissioner as a guest. And he said, I'm not sure. And then we invited...
Not sure for coming
to. And then we invited one high court judge to come. So then he said, okay, I'll come. So when he confirmed, commissioner said, no, then I will not come. No, sir, we made for you only. You please come. You have something to do there. Actually, we are not very sure he will come. But then judge has come. And then meanwhile, he also came and joined us.
So both of them came?
Both of them came. And then he is a very action, task-oriented IAS officer. So he has not come onto the stage. He directly went to our vehicle and is analyzing how they are carrying the food, how they, what is the vessel and all those things he is analyzing. And then stage program began. He came, sat next to me. We gave the initial Bahman. Immediately is asking the question. I have 18,000 employees in my organization, municipality, the local municipality. How can we feed them, Swamiji? You please tell me.
Wow.
Then I said, yeah, we can do it. But then I said, why only to your employees? There are so many poor people in the city. Why don't you give to all these poor people also, including your employees? A counter to aapka employees ke liye dal denge. Then he said, Swamiji, looks okay. This looks interesting. I will try to come back to you like that. That's all. After that, we never thought that he will come back. But then one day he came back. He convinced his mayor, who is actually not from our faith. And then he visited our Akshay Patra kitchen and all that.
Both of them?
No, that person has
Mayor has visited.
Mayor has not come. This commissioner has come. So commissioner saw that. He saw that yes, we have the capacity, capability and all those things. And then he said, well, let us start one center karke. That's so with the government we partnered and started this 5 rupee meal. This 5 rupee meal, although this concept is there in many places, this is a unique thing in the sense we gave a full meal. In Tamil Nadu, they have individual items and you have to pay 5 rupees.
For individual items?
Like that. So here it is not one big thali, a full complete meal. We give rice, dal or sambar and sabji, and then there's a buttermilk and little pickle, and then we also give plate and one water packet and all that. Everything put together. The person has to just walk up to the kiosk, pay 5 rupees, immediately you'll get one full. So like that we started our journey, and that is started by one government, and then later on next government came, but they also continued, and then it was called as Annapurna. And so under the scheme now we have reached up to 35,000-40,000 meals.
So Hyderabad Municipal Corporation supports it. The remaining amount is given by the
municipal corporation. So see, capex and vehicles and all those things is our side. Kitchen capex and all that. And then government gives running expenditure deficit. Customer gives 5 rupees. So all the three put together is
a good PPP model.
So that became popular, and the kiosks, 1 or 2 has now become almost 150 to 160 kiosks.
In the Hyderabad city alone?
In the city.
Okay. And on average, how many people have?
I don't say 150 to 100.
In one center?
One center. And then in some places it will be 400, 500 like that. I'm just saying. So then because of this partnership, they have to put our logo. Prabhupada walking, Hare Krishna logo. You know, all this.
Prabhupada's kitchen expanding.
Yeah. So Prabhupada said Hyderabad is my kitchen. Actually, he proved it.
And farmers?
Yeah. So similar programs. So what we realized, because government is not very supportive, we thought that we have to entangle one department with us. So hospital, then we went to this marketing yards, farmer, all those departments. They also started this scheme. 5 rupees for farmers, 5 rupees for hamalis who carry all the. Actually, they really need. And so when we started, that also created a lot of visibility and goodwill for us. So like that, we have almost some 4 or 5 types. In fact, we started breakfast. It's called Swasti Ahar.
Millet based.
Yeah, long ago we started. This is almost some 6-7 years back, because in 1 or 2 schools we wanted to experiment and see. And so that also has become very. So like that, this 5 rupee meal started spreading to other parts of the state also. And hospital feedings like that. One scheme, it is expanding. Now breakfast also may expand in the entire state. So Prabhupada's will, Krishna's mercy, a lot of people will get to eat Krishna Prasad every single day.
Miracle of Narasimha continues.
Yeah. In fact, many families who came in touch with our Narasimha, this thing, they feel that. They say there is something very special. So that's, I mean, in one sense, our movement, our group is blessed to get that service. And
because you just desired that Prabhupada's desire to feed in 10-mile radius of the temple has to be fulfilled. Just endeavored a bit, and now Prabhupada,
everything else.
Narasimha took it to the next level.
Oh, it's an unimaginable level. Huge numbers actually. Actually, for 40,000 adult meals means it's about 1 lakh children meals. Child eats only less than 100 grams and 100 grams, but an adult can eat much more. So it's like that. So it's a big volume actually. So these feeding programs are going on, and then in our state and then the neighboring state, that Andhra also, we got nice opportunities to feed. And kitchens also, there are a lot of kitchens now in both the states put together. And
future
if Akshay Patra and our local trust kitchens put together, it will be more than 20. 20 kitchens. So it's really a kitchen.
Prabhupada's kitchen, Hyderabad. Very good.
Yeah, that's the.
So another project what you have for the kids of the Hyderabad city.
Yeah.
And you see Hyderabad coming up with case after case where youngsters are caught up with some drugs or some. Okay, but you want to give them a spiritual value-based education. You have started at Basil Woods.
Yeah.
So tell me something about that.
Yeah, actually, initially the school was started in Bangalore, and I happened to go there and see the school there. A very impressive setup. And so then again, what we can do is only to decide and do a little bit of endeavor and all that. We started doing that. And meanwhile, in the COVID, also our kitchens were very supportive. I mean, this is one more angle. During the COVID, almost I think about 1 crore of meals we have
Hyderabad city
alone, because a lot of migrants they pass by through Hyderabad, and in order to reach UP and Bihar and all that. So government has taken an initiative and extended the hospitality by providing food and all that. So our kitchens became a source of disaster management. Actually, none of the people are wanting to come out of their comfort zones because COVID is still active. But our team, all the employees, they thought, no, this is very important. And then we ignited the fire in the kitchen again. And that's how we started feeding. So government was very happy. They recognized it also later on. Honorable CM has personally mentioned that these people feed they do feeding nicely. So that's kind of a compliment for our
viewers who are watching this. Akshay Patra and Hare Krishna movement group of kitchens have cumulatively fed 25 crore meals, including packaged meals, freshly cooked meals, and groceries put together. From a school.
Yeah, so then, that is about the COVID intervention. So, coming to schools, that's the Bangalore, that's the inspiration. And then we decided to, so we started off with a preschool in one place. And then, so we had about 40 people or something in the first level, LKG, UKG and all those things. And then slowly it has started increasing. And after crossing, passing out of the preschool.
Now we are in that stage in Hyderabad.
Their next question will be, where is the school? So by then our school is not ready. Nor we have any hint also. So then what we did, in the same building, we took one more floor and then we extended it to first standard. So that's good. They're happy. And after the first standard,
next one.
So then we again extended it to up to second. And so our desperate, this thing has increased. And then again, fortunately, after COVID subsided, and one of our donors have a good land bank. So he offered 3 acres at a subsidized price, which is also very big amount for us. But then with the help of some bank and all that, we started one school. The first Basil school in Hyderabad.
And it was made in a very short duration of time.
Yeah.
Another miracle.
It's a 6-month, it's about 55,000 square feet construction built up area. And it's completed in about 4 to 5 months.
Not even 6 months.
Not even 6 months. And the permissions took about
12 hours.
It was like that, very, very fast. Right people are in the right positions.
We were at the right time.
Right time. This, nobody else can do this.
Prabhupada's personal direction.
Yes, exactly. Prabhupada's mercy, Krishna. And so all of them are very supportive. And then immediately we got the permissions and then construction happened. Now, first year we completed now. Already 220 students, they have now passed into the next level. This year also we will have one more batch. So with that it will be around 450 students with us.
It's a modern education with
the culture connect
of
Krishna consciousness. The parents are loving it. children are very excited. They look forward to come every single day in all our schools. Preschool also, now it is reached up to 150. It has expanded very much. So there is a big demand in the society thanks to the current scenario. A lot of people are coming back to the roots. Hinduism, Sanatana Dharma, and some our culture. Everybody is getting interested in all this. So which I feel it's very good. And we are in the right time now. And if we can offer this education, we will be producing a completely different category of generations, say 10 years down the line. And they will be a big asset for the country, for the society, and for everybody. So by Prabhupada's mercy, I think this will be mostly the next lap of
Krishna
explosion. Till now it has through Akshay Patra and many feeding programs and all that, and temple projects. Now education.
So you are in the Beverly Hills of Hyderabad. You have a golden temple. You got 50 still devotees there. Why you want to build 3 more temples? You have plans of 4 temples. So what's the Tower Temple all about, and the KCR involvement in that, and the government wanting to support such mammoth project? This I was mentioning about one hidden layer connected to the local pontiff. He requested us that Swamiji, don't build any of your big temples. Let it be connected to the original parampara. That's his request. We also accepted. And so the question is, for our parampara, where is our place? So that's when we happened to approach the Goshala, who gave the land for Akshay Patra kitchen. And they already saw us doing something concrete there. So their confidence has gone up. So then they said, okay, Swamiji, we will, we can look into it. And then how many acres is a question. They started very small, and then we negotiated. So finally it came to 6 acres of land. And in the next, just Bajume, that means Akshay Patra and this temple will be just next to each other, separated by one road. In between there is one road. So that's the kind of land. Initially when I went there to see the land, I saw outskirts of the city. There's no hint of... Initially means
2013, 14. No hint of any development, all those things. But then after we came up with our kitchen and announced the temple project, there's one more Beverly Hills too.
It's a tower Beverly Hills.
So it's really become very expensive. And so now that there, what is happening, because of the cost of the land there, everywhere towers. Our neighbor, just little bit far away, if you go there, they're having some 55 floor tower. Backside some 40, opposite some 40, like that. It's all towers.
So towers inspired our tower.
So then, if ordinary human beings are sitting in towers, what about Krishna? So that's how we thought, okay, our temple has to be a tower. And then that's how we came up with the heritage tower concept. As of now, the designs are ready. And then the CM, who never came for any private event in his entire 10-year tenure, he decided to come to
this was his first private event.
First private Bhumi Puja. He came there. After doing Bhumi Puja rituals, actually he wanted to go back. He's having some health issues. But then we said, sir, we have organized a big Pandal program. People are waiting and all that. He said, okay. Somehow he took a decision and then he dragged his feet to the stage. Oh. It's like that it is. And
so it was just, he wanted to just do the Bhumi Puja and go off.
Because he gave a word to us, although he's sick. He came there and then he did the puja and then he wanted to return immediately. But anyway, he just came to the stage, and then when the politicians see the crowd, all diseases vanish. And then they know what to talk also. But there is a genuine appreciation, and he appreciated the feeding programs and everything. And most unusually, he announced a 25 crore support to.
Hare Krishna Samajam manchi కార్యక్రమాలు చేస్తా ఉంది. ముఖ్యంగా వారు తెలంగాణ ప్రభుత్వానికి అందిస్తున్నటువంటి తోడ్పాటు. The government of Telangana also, with all its sincerity, with all its belief, we would also like to contribute to the construction of the temple. I hereby announce 25 crores of contribution towards the construction of the temple, which will be very shortly released by the government.
In the entire history, if you see, 50 years of ISKCON, we never hear government announcing a big support like that. Of course, he announced the whole support and all that. Even GO is also present, but still we have not decided whether we really want to take it or not. So GO is available. We are also just waiting wait and watch. That's the stage today. So with the blessings of all the devotees, maybe that will come up.
Yeah.
And we hope to host some festival like this. And then so that all of you can come.
So this is regarding Hyderabad as a city. You have come for 3 more temples coming up, and basil roads and kitchen of Srila Prabhupada. You're proving it a reality. What about villages? You have something for villages also in Andhra and Telangana. So tell me something about that.
Yeah, very quickly I'll mention. This is once all the brahmacharis, we went to the nearby Narasimha Kshetra called Ahobilam. When we are on the way, we saw that the whole thing is converted to a different culture and faith. So then, of course, it's all under the Lord's control. What thought that came to our mind is, tomorrow can we access our own dhams, Narasimha dhams and this and that.
So here, miracle Narasimha is involved here also.
So we are, just started thinking what to do. Then this idea came that something we had to do it in villages, and any time you want to do any preaching, start with the children. This is a key concept. So 2 villages we have first piloted. The concept is very simple. After the schooling, see, there is a post-school kind of an arrangement. One teacher is there. In the teacher's house only, some 30-40 students will come. First 1 hour, they do homework. Then the next 1 hour, they will be taught some KC aspects. Bhagavad Gita shloka chanting, some more points like that. Once that is also done, some Donna Prashada. Wherever we have support, we are giving dinner prashada. So that's the package. So we started in 2 villages, and then the response was very good. The children are happy that they are doing homework, and they are also learning some shlokas and all that. And secondly, parents are also very happy. The distraction of the children with the mobiles and all that has come down. And thirdly, all the children, they started chanting and they became devoted. Parents are also become devoted.
Wow.
So there is a transformation in their behavior. They're respecting their parents and all that. God is like, blown. This is like
it's a big challenge for parents these days to get it done.
Yeah. So because children are not listening to them, they just go. So all those things have changed. So when we saw these 2 transformations, we understood that this model will work.
This happened in Ahobilam?
No, this is closer to the city. We identified 2 villages and we did a pilot.
It was accessible, that's right.
So we were thinking now how to extend and all that. Suddenly one donor came, and then he heard about this scheme. He comes and gives 10 lakhs check and goes. So as soon as 10 lakh check came, then this time I was careful. I said, let it be realized.
Once bitten, twice shy.
So then it is deposit is realized, and then we got the money. Then I said, yeah, see, this is an indication. And Krishna on his own has sent somebody, and he's supporting this program. So we thought we will now extend it to Ahobilam. So near Ahobilam, we started implementing this. To cut short the story now, where we experimented in 2 now, Lord's mercy, it has reached to 70 villages, and 1,600 students are officially enrolled, and another 1,600 parents are also chanting.
Very bold. It's a massive preaching.
Yeah. So some 3,000.
And you tie up with some foreign university for that?
Yeah. And then meanwhile, we happen to, they one of our folk boy has become a faculty in that university, and they invited me to give one induction for the newcomers, some orientation kind of a thing. So I went there. At the end of it, I was talking to the dean there. He got impressed with this concept, and then they came and saw our temple, and then finally they thought. I said that your students should come to villages like Ahobilam and see how the
village internship.
And then in the village also there is an excitement to see this kind of a students coming from so there is a win-win situation. Why don't you do it? So then they said looks nice, Swami, and then that's how we entered into a MOU. Activities are about to begin. One or two batches. One batch came already nearby village. And they're very excited, these college students. They never saw villages. And they come in some big cars and all that. So village is a new environment for them. So like that it is, we're trying to involve the city youth. Let them see the reality, and then we are planning to even involve the students also, children also. Let them come and see the village children. So this is the idea. It has picked up nicely, and then there was no fund issue also. So that shows that their
miracles are continuing.
They are running it.
So all these years you've been serving the Lord, serving Srila Prabhupada's movement. How been the support of His Grace Madhu Pandit Prabhu and Chanchalipati Prabhu in doing what you're doing?
Yeah. First thing is, when I was in Bangalore, I was trained up under them because I was reporting to them. And so a lot of concepts and ideas I have picked up there. And I also know the areas of improvement, at least in the areas that I handle, because I know where I'm lacking there. So all these things put together, then I had an opportunity to implement this. And whenever I have come up with any of these ideas, they have encouraged me. And then since I am doing some piloting also, there is some data to prove what I'm trying to expand. It becomes all the more easier. And so like that. So initially a few years CPP was there as our GBR, and then Madhu Pandit Prabhu, and then very closely they support. Whenever I ask anything, immediately Prabhu responds and all that, and he comes regularly, inspires the devotees, and then we present all the things that are happening. See, the general direction, if Prabhu says, okay, we know that, okay, more or less we are in the right direction. Here and there some problems may be there, but we know that generally we are in the good direction. So that's the kind of comfort we want, and that is always available.
That's a structure which Prabhupada wanted us to follow.
And then it's always available. They always give the comfort. And then fortunately all the programs are in the right direction.
One more question, because you're thickly involved in training devotees. You've seen probably 3 generations of devotees under your eyes. So what's the difference between them and current generation who picked up Krishna consciousness? So anything for those temple devotees who are handling such devotees, or the devotees themselves who are facing these difficulties to cope up with the management system or culture?
No, this is a very sensitive question. Maybe we can...
Another podcast.
Yeah.
So it's been a pleasure talking to you, bro. We would love to have many more such podcasts with different topics which we can address and help us out. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for your valuable time.
Hare Krishna.